Straight ahead on 12 News, pomp and ceremony fitting a new commander. Then a bad week on the highway translates to a busy time for auto body shops.
It's been pretty steady, pretty busy.
But first, the deep freeze leads to another frightening commute. 12 News starts right now. Public Works officials are calling it bulletproof ice. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. Sunday's slush turned into Monday's nightmare for many drivers as temperatures dropped and highways froze solid. Take a look at the scary situation one driver was in on this Highway 252 overpass in Brooklyn Park. Two wheels are hanging over the edge of the roadway. That's Highway 610 below. Police say the overpass that carries traffic from Coon Rapids into Brooklyn Park was all ice. Another driver found that out the hard way. A truck slid off the overpass and down the embankment to 610 below. Police say the driver was injured, but we don't know how badly. That section of 252 was closed down for some time on Monday morning. And experts say the ice pack is so tough because road salt just doesn't work when it's below 10 degrees. With more than 400 accidents happening across the metro over the weekend, auto body shops are filling up fast.
Well, a trip to the garage won't be fast or cheap. 12 News reporter Renee Bonneau explains how sometimes it's inevitable.
In this weather, someone's commute can easily come to a crashing halt. And the road to rehabilitation,
a lot of times the first snowfall, they just end up going into the ditch.
Often starts in an auto body shop.
It's been pretty steady, pretty busy. You know, I think last I'd heard there's like 400 accidents.
At Modern Auto Body in Brooklyn Park, the orders are stacking up from fender benders to bigger wrecks.
Like this one here, we'd probably replace the fender, go ahead and put the headlight in there. The bumper cover needs replacement. It'd probably be about $2,600, $2,700. It adds up fairly quickly.
Repairs will cost you not just money, but also time. If you have any moderate damage to your car, it could take you a week before you get it back.
Some drivers hold off on fixing their car, and that's fine as long as it's still safe. But you should take it in if an airbag deployed or the seatbelt stopped working. Check for flat tires and make sure your car isn't pulling to one side.
If you're going down the road and that's chimmering and chammering while you're driving, pull over, park it, and call somebody, because you could actually be doing more damage or cause another accident.
Before choosing an auto body shop, call your insurance company and ask friends and family for a referral.
Best thing is make sure it's done right, it's safe to drive, and you know there's not going to be any issues to come back for.
In Brooklyn Park, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
And the manager at Modern Auto Body said no one is immune from accidents in icy conditions like this, and that includes people with four-wheel drive vehicles. He sees plenty of those every winter.
A Crystal Police Squad car will be heading off to a body shop after a drunk driver slammed into the back of the car over the weekend. The accident happened early Sunday morning off 62nd Avenue and County Road 81. As you can see, the rear driver's side of the squad is pretty banged up. The officer was out on a call and had the emergency lights flashing when the crash occurred.
The damage is pretty extensive to the left rear. It almost ripped the wheel off, and so it was a very hard impact. If that had been square on in the middle of the back, it would have been much, much worse for the officer.
The police officer was taken to the hospital to be checked out, but he's doing okay. Charges are pending against the alleged drunk driver.
In Maple Grove, a shooting sent a young woman to the hospital and a 22-year-old man to jail. It happened Sunday evening in the 13,300 block of Maple Knoll Way. Police say when they got there, an 18-year-old woman was bleeding from a single gunshot wound. The injuries appear to be non-life-threatening. The shooting may be unintentional, but a 22-year-old man was arrested and could face a charge of recklessly discharging a firearm. In Brooklyn Park, bridges along a walking trail are getting an update this winter. It means people who use the trails during the winter time will run into some detours. 3 bridges in Brookdale Park will be closed for construction beginning Tuesday. The bridges are 25 years old, and 2 of them will be replaced with wider bridges, the 3rd with a culvert. That work will take place this winter. The city hopes to have the trail restoration finished by next spring. Minnesota's 34th Red Bull Infantry Division is now in the hands of a Brooklyn Park man.
Brigadier General Neil Loidolt formally assumed leadership of the National Guard unit at a change of command ceremony this past weekend in Rosemount. As Delane Cleveland reports, Loidolt says he's ready to lead more than 10,000 Minnesotan soldiers.
At the National Guard Armory in Rosemount Saturday morning, a full auditorium gathered for a military tradition that dates back to the 1800s to signify a change of command.
When a change of command was to take place, the flag was passed to the individual assuming command. This gesture was accomplished in front of the unit so that all could see and witness their new leader assuming his dutiful position.
Relinquishing command is Major General David Osseo.
From my travels to the corners of Red Bull country, I can state with a bold voice that this division still has the best soldiers in this Army.
Taking over this group of Red Bulls is Brigadier General Neil Loidolt of Brooklyn Park.
The challenge to maintain the reputation of our division and the charge to provide the highest level of soldier care across our formations is an order I welcome and am committed to seeing through without compromise.
Loidolt began his career in 1984 as an ammunition specialist in the Minnesota Army National Guard.
You know, when I joined in 1984, I'm not sure that I thought I was going to maybe be the division commander one day.
But in those nearly 30 years of service, he served multiple staff positions and commanded at all levels through the division.
Our history is a point of pride for all Red Bulls, and we honor the service of those who came before us,
earning this opportunity through hard work and dedication to lead thousands of soldiers.
Even though we're not participating in the war fight anymore, we're back in Minnesota, we're still training, we're available to do the domestic operations mission and to represent and protect the citizens of Minnesota as we're required to by the state constitution.
In Rosemount, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
Loidolt says personnel readiness continues to be a top priority. The next big thing for the Red Bulls is a 17-day full-scale training exercise. Well, coming up, what's your investing IQ? We'll show you how some students are getting an early start.
And later in sports, it is a championship rematch in girls basketball as Hopkins takes on Bloomington Kennedy.
But first, a look at your AccuWeather forecast, and it doesn't warm up until later in the week.
In business news, the Brooklyn Park EDA will vote Monday night on helping two big development projects become reality. The EDA would reimburse Olympus Surgical Technologies up to $1 million as that company prepares to build a 180,000 square foot building along the 610 corridor. Groundbreaking on that project is set for Friday. They're also considering up to $525,000 to help Connor Commercial Real Estate build a large industrial building on West Broadway. Move over Warren Buffett. Some savvy students are selling stocks and studying the market.
And these students may not be able to drive yet, but they're investing their time in a lesson that could have real rewards. In this week's Business Matters, we take a look at a school program focused on financial know-how.
What kind of stocks do you want to buy?
Armed with laptops,
Number of shares.
these financially savvy Maple Grove sixth graders have $100,000 and some big decisions to make.
We shouldn't sell it if it's lower than it was, unless we're really losing money.
They're investing time playing the stock market game. It's a national financial education program for grades 4 through 12 with a Minnesota chapter run by Brooklyn Park-based nonprofit Best Prep.
The stock market game is a online simulation where students receive a virtual $100,000 to invest in stocks and mutual funds.
You can go into trade.
For students, the risk is relatively low.
I've bought Target and Medtronic.
Considering it's virtual money. But the rewards are real, learning relevant skills for the real world.
They're really learning critical thinking skills. They're looking at trends from the past day, week, year to kind of make some decisions about what they're doing. And they're having to think about managing money in a way that they've probably never thought of before as sixth graders.
12-year-old Lauren Boondorf is calculating her next stock trade.
I think I'm going to sell Target around Christmas because it'd be higher and I bought it for a lower price, so then I'd make some money.
It's all about the bottom line in this program, which also includes a statewide competition that honors the top 3 highest earning investors in each student age group.
I would say the only consistent winning strategy really is, doing their research, looking at the trends.
So far, Lauren Boondorf's cash balance is in the black. She's making a little virtual money right now with skills that someday could net a real profit.
I think I'm on the right track so far.
The stock market game is typically played in schools for about 7 to 10 weeks. Last year, more than 13,000 Minnesota students participated in the game. And who knows, maybe some parents are getting a few stock tips from their kids right now.
Well, the kids probably have more time to look at them more carefully. And parents
right.
sometimes just forget about it.
Could turn into real money,
Yeah,
we
could
said,
be
right?
real money, yeah.
You never know. Coming up, we will kick off our look at holiday lights in the Northwest Metro.
And up next in sports, Maple Grove lights up the scoreboard in a hockey matchup with Armstrong. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with sports now, and a very good trip, as it turned out, for some very good local athletes.
That's right, Wayzata to Portland and come home with some hardware.
They did very well at a really tough competition, the best in the country, really. Back in August, before the regular high school season had even started, the Wayzata girls cross country team talked about competing for the championship at the Nike Cross Nationals, an unofficial championship meet for the country's top runners and teams. The Trojans breezed through state competition this fall, winning the high school title. And Saturday they competed in Oregon at the Nike event. And what a day it was. The Wayzata girls won the Cross Nationals in Portland. They beat out the 7-time defending national champions from Fayetteville Manlius of New York State for the title. Anna French, the top finisher for Wayzata. She placed 8th overall with a time of 17 minutes, 43.4 seconds on the 5-kilometer course. Wayzata's boys were also in Portland. They placed 15th overall in the national meet. Gig Harbor of Washington State was the winner. Edina, runner-up to Wayzata in the State High School League meet last month, finished 10th overall. Connor Olson ran the fastest time for Wayzata with a time of 15 minutes, 36 seconds. Hopkins has won the past 3 state Class 4A titles in girls basketball. The state's #1 team again this year faced a challenge as they met 5th-ranked Bloomington Kennedy. Early first half, and Hopkins' Dee Dee Winston drives the lane, draws the coverage, dishes off to Molly O'Toole, who knocks down the jumper. She finished the night with 16 points. Kanisha Bell of Kennedy is an outstanding player. She hits the pull-up jumper and is fouled on the play, and Kennedy leads by 2. Later, Bell will take it coast to coast and score 2 more on the layup. She had 16 points in the game, and the Eagles lead by 8 points at this point. But then late in the first half, Hopkins freshman Jasmine Martin hits back-to-back 3-pointers, and that helps put Hopkins up by 5 at halftime. Second half for Coach Brian Cosgra's club, and Keisha Wubben drives, gets her shot blocked, but Variah Livingston is there. She gets the rebound and put back for the Royals. Nia Holly has a big second half for Hopkins. She'll drive and drop in the floater over the Kennedy defender as Hopkins wins it 67-57. Both of those teams were back in action Saturday as part of the Breakdown Sports Tip-Off Classic at the Lindbergh Center at Hopkins High School. Park Center's girls handed Kennedy their second loss in a row. The Pirates win 64-59 behind 25 points from Kayla McMorris. The Hopkins girls beat Anoka 68-57 for their 22nd win in a row. And Maple Grove beats Rochester John Marshall 57-42. Kayla Jones had 17 points for the Crimson. There were a few boys' games, including the big Apple Valley De La Salle showdown on Saturday as well. Hopkins had no trouble with St. Michael Albertville. 5 Royals score in double figures. Brett gives Minnetonka a challenge before they fall 78-65. Conference play at Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball is underway. Champlin Park and Armstrong tipped off their conference schedules at Armstrong, with Wolves mascot Crunch on hand to help out a little bit where he could in this one. Armstrong's Lyric Williams, nice move inside to beat the Rebels defender. She'll score, and it's an early 6-2 Falcons lead. Lexi Alexander headed to South Dakota State next season. She'll take this one all the way in, then 2 of her 11 points. Taylor Severn misses a 3-pointer. Sydney Helly, though, is underneath. She scores for Champlin Park, and they go up by 7. Final seconds of the first half, Williams steals the ball for Armstrong, gets it away to Latea Turman, who drains a long three-pointer at the buzzer, and the Falcons are down just 5 at the half. Second half, Kelly Heitens will pass in the paint to Hannah Krimble for 2. The sophomore had a huge second half. She had 25 points in all, and Champlin Park wins this game 71-55. In boys hockey, Maple Grove and Armstrong each started Northwest Suburban Conference play with wins last Thursday. The Crimson and Falcons met Saturday afternoon with a pretty good student crowd on hand for this one. We pick up the action in the second period. The Crimson leading 3-2. Sam Valerius and Nate Erickson for the quick goal. A power play goal for Maple Grove, and they're up 4-2. Later, the Falcons turn the puck over in their own zone. Maple Grove takes advantage. Sam Ross puts it out front, and then he'll circle around and shoot it past Keegan Odell and in. That goal makes it 6-2 Maple Grove. Opening seconds of the third period, Valerius takes the pass from Sam Huff and scores to make it 7-2 Maple Grove. And a good individual effort by Sam Frant on this one, skating through to D, keeping his balance and scoring. Maple Grove goes on to beat Armstrong 10-2 is the final. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thanks, John. Up next, you have someone who's transforming their yard into a holiday spectacle.
We will start our look at some of the well-decked out homes in the area when we come back.
Here's a look ahead to the stories we're following for Tuesday's 12 News. We'll see how the caseload for the homeless is increasing in the Northwest Metro and what's being done about it. In our Health Check report, we'll check in with a doctor who sees snowblower injuries every winter. And in sports, a look at the Champlin Park girls basketball team as they prepare for a big week of games. We'll have those stories and much more coming up Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And finally, if you haven't already put up your outdoor holiday lights, it's going to be a cold job.
And we're starting our annual look at holiday lights in the Northwest Metro today with a well-decorated front yard in New Hope. This home is in the 9,000 block of Northwood Circle. A lot of people did the decorating, as you can see, before it turned so cold. It was a lot easier then. New Hope is holding a lighting contest called Sparkles. Winners will be recognized next month at a city council meeting. And if you would like to share your display with us, or you have a neighbor that's got quite a display so we can feature it here on Channel 12, just tell us where it is in an email, and you can reach us at news@12.tv. Wouldn't want to be out there. Yeah, bring them in. Yeah, give us a call or an email. It works great. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.